being launched, and what can we expect, do you think?
My expectations aren't very high, but the fact that there's an inquiry about the police actually doing an investigation into themselves is bizarre in the first point. And secondly, with regards to what was said, with regards to stop and search, etc., one thing that we have to also look at and take into account is that we have this matrix that the police actually have as well, the gangs matrix, and even those that are victims of crime are actually put on there. They're not using correct intelligence when they're actually stopping and searching people. Sometimes it can be as random. So, you know, there is a bit of animosity between the community and the police, and I think that there needs to be more intelligence-led, not just a blanket sweep over anyone just because they're young, black and male.
Well, do you think the stop and search in itself is an effective tool in preventing crime?
No, because the statistics are clear with regards to stop and search and anything with regards to stopping crime. It actually statistically shows that stop and search does not work with regards to the combating crime. So there needs to be another way. There needs to be more investment in our young people, and just stopping the generalisation that all black males are criminals when they're not.
Well, you work with youths who've been affected by discrimination. I mean, what are their feelings generally about the police?
Well, it's not very positive. Even despite us setting up youth clubs and doing other initiatives with our young people, at first, from a younger age, it's okay. But as they get older and they're allowed more freedoms to go on the road, they then can be sometimes stopped and searched 3, 4, 5 times. That could be on your way to or from school. You're only 12 or 13 years old, and you're already seen as some sort of criminal when you haven't actually committed a crime. Instead of actually just generalising, like I said already, just because you're young and you're black, why not actually have some more intelligence policing? And when I say intelligence, I don't mean just data that doesn't seem to amount to much. Right now, it just seems to be blanket across all young black males, and that's not fair on them. That then breeds a slight resentment amongst young black males towards the police, and it also breeds that contempt of, well, you're only stopping me because I'm black. Show me the evidence that says otherwise, because right now, that's all it is.
Well, do you think the Black Lives Matter movement has shone a light on this issue, and that's why the inquiry has come to pass?
Yes, I definitely believe that the Black Lives Matter movement has actually put this into the spotlight. It has put the issues that face young black males and women in the UK under a spotlight. And I see that things are now being done, but my concern is how long is that going to last before we go back to how it's always been. Whenever a black person does speak out about racism, discrimination in any form, regardless of whether it's police brutality or whether it's in the workplace, we're shut up and we're told that we can't speak out on it. We've got a chip on our shoulder, or we're playing the race card. I think it is about time now that people actually start listening to what we've got to say, because this is our reality and this is what we face on a daily basis. And as soon as policy changes with regards to how black people are treated, even in mental health, with regards to why is it that a black woman is 5 times more likely to die from childbirth than anybody else. That shows that there is a clear problem with discrimination. So we do say that thank you to Black Lives Matter for highlighting this, but there are organisations right here in the UK that are also fighting but are not being heard. So I hope now they will start being heard, listened to, and things actually being done, not just a tick box exercise.
Well, Cheryl, finally, when you said about things being done, can you highlight some of the things that you think need to be done on a practical level? Do new roles need to be recreated? Do we need a complete rethink in what we're doing on practical levels?
Absolutely. Well, when you look at most senior management positions, whether that be in local authority, whether that be in government, you can just look at Parliament, for example, to see where things need to be changed. You can't tell me that everyone and everything, we're just living in some homogenous society, because someone who is not of the same race, nationality as me doesn't understand what I'm going through, but yet are not welcome to the table to sit down when it comes to making decisions about things that actually affect people that look like me and the young black males that we're talking about. So from a policy perspective, and not just a tick box exercise, we need actual practical policy changes. Right now they will say that they have this policy and that policy in place. But if someone is being subtly racist to me in the workplace, how do I then get to prove that? Because a lot of the time they're not proven, and a lot of the time people are pushed out of their work positions and probably pushed into poverty because they're being victimized in their workplace, they're getting sick and getting ill. So there needs to be a real discussion that takes place with those senior leaders of all kinds of workplaces so that things can actually change. And that's practical. Reinvestment needs to go back into black grassroots organizations who are making a change day in and day out, but are being overlooked by large corporate organizations who get funding and other things, and they struggle, and then they die away. And then we see a reintegration of crime and things going wrong. There's so many great organizations within the black community who understand and know this community, but they're not being supported by central or national government.
Cheryl Phoenix, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.